Oh, wait a second. It should be on Twitch and YouTube on your channel. Yep, there it goes.
Alright. Hey everybody. It's us again, a day late, but we have a good reason for that. Yesterday, MarioTube just conquered Shrek on Xbox story mode.
And that's only half the battle. Now I gotta do race mode.
Because he doesn't want Brandon to show him up.
Yeah.
I am here live from the state of New York. About 4 or 5 hours from where Sick is.
Oh my god. So close yet so far.
Leaving in the morning, so Stick can't have 2 visitors this year. But before we get to our main topic, Friday I heard some news.
News?
Well, apparently every day at my work, about around between 9 and 10, like an Asian bus comes to my area, and pick up Asian people. And apparently it's an Ohio, Kentucky to New York bus. Same people come every day. I know the people ride every day. They look the same. Not to be racist or anything, they look the same. But apparently, some people on that bus were taken in for human trafficking.
Oh.
Apparently, there's a ring going on that bus. Some of the people on that bus were traffickers in the human variety. Right next to my work.
Why does the worst shit happen at your McDonald's? Like, wasn't there like some kind of shooting that happened last year?
Yeah, the police shot a guy dead in the parking lot.
Yeah, while you were washing dishes too. So.
Yeah, I was wondering why it was so quiet that day and no one had cars for 2 hours. I'm like, whatever. I was like, whatever.
Oh,
whatever.
Thank God, less work finally. Maybe McDonald's is once and for all going under. Nope, just police activity. Oh, God.
Can't even leave the building. We take the long way around the building to go to the police barricades. We had to travel through the hotel and the grass, get out of there. So, yeah, apparently some guy killed his wife in Cincinnati about an hour away. And they are fed up here. They would have gotten away with it, too. But they hit a police car at a red light. So a police car had stopped somebody else at a red light and gave me a ticket, and the guy who murdered his wife ran back to the police car.
Oh my God!
Giving a ticket.
Wow.
So,
fucking.
Damn.
Thank God for that. He was an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, there was a previous episode where I was recounting stories of dumb criminals.
Yeah. But I guess today our main topic, hopefully it's longer, short maybe long, is the trips we have taken, especially our most recent trips. So Mario, you have any trips you want to talk about?
Well, there is one trip that I remember that I think was the most recent one I've had, though it was like probably during middle school times, maybe. I don't really remember. What I do remember is it was like up in a mountain-like area where there was woods, and there was like a lodge cabin. I remember that I would basically use an axe to chop down these pieces of wood that were also already conveniently chopped into small logs, and we would have to carry these logs near our cabin and chop them up with axes. Except part of the problem with that was we were doing it on like a hill, and there wasn't exactly flat ground, so it was pretty difficult. I also shaved some sticks. I don't remember what you call it, but you basically take a knife and you shave it and make it smoother, I guess. Like you're taking the skin off of it, I guess you could say. Also, there was like board games and shit for some reason, but you know, to each their own. And the one thing I really remember during that whole fucking trip was, I guess it was like this person. It might have been a person that was running the lodge or something. But I remember that he had this dog, and fucking, he taught this dog, like, okay, one of the tricks I remember was he'd throw 2 pieces of a treat, and he'd tell the dog one of them is poisonous, so the dog would only go for the one that was not poisonous, and until the owner said otherwise. There was also Play Dead. I think there was like a bang bang kind of thing where he pretend shot with his hand, shot the dog, and the dog would just fall over. I don't really remember if there were any others, but those are the ones I remember. That was pretty cool.
Phone.
Other than that, don't really go on trips, so hopefully that will change.
Yeah.
So, Snick, we talking about any trips besides the recent trip, or are you going to go straight into that?
I mean, well, I usually always went on trips as a kid. Like, it was always an annual trip to Florida, and of course it was to Orlando, to Disney.
Oh,
I went to Disney so many times, I'm actually kind of sick of it.
Actually, say that for a second. For the end, do you have any onions of yourself on trips?
Yeah, there's plenty of middle school and elementary school schnick antics to talk about that were on trips.
Okay, we can save that for later then, for our ending credits. So, alright. Tell us all about when the meeting of the meeting of Mickey and Drunk Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon, if anyone doesn't know, Brandon, aka Brasa455, he and his family actually came to visit me in person this week. They got in late Sunday night, and by Monday afternoon, they rode a train to my house, and I first saw them on the train platform. So me and my dad brought them home. We had a little barbecue in the backyard. Then after that, I ended up going back with them into the city, and I had to sleep with them in their hotel room for the night. And then Tuesday, we were basically walking the city all day. We got up in the morning, and then we started walking. I mean, we were kind of just killing time for like the first couple of hours. Though we found out the 9/11 memorial was actually very close by to where the boat to Liberty Island was at. We skipped over the memorial briefly because we didn't have enough time, but we went straight to the boat. So we rode to Liberty Island, and we saw I for the first time saw the Statue of Liberty up close and personal. Of course, it was their first time seeing it too, but even though I live close to New York City, I had never actually been on the island before.
So it's a whole new world for both of you.
Like, I had only ever seen the statue from a distance. Particularly during the time when elementary school schnick went to the top of the Empire State Building. But yeah, we went to Liberty Island. We we actually went into the crown of the Statue of Liberty, and it was such a narrow staircase, I was afraid I was going to slip and break both legs.
Wow.
Like, legit, if you are overweight or morbid, like, maybe not necessarily overweight, but if you are morbidly obese, you can't go see the crown of the Statue of Liberty.
Like they won't let you in, or that's like a suggestion?
No. I think it's just a suggestion because I don't see how anyone who's super fat could fit through there.
So you had to take the stairs. There's no elevator there.
There's no elevator for the crown. Like, that's impossible. Like, it's a narrow statue.
That actually reminds me of a specific moment that I remember in another trip I had. I think it was a field trip, actually. Real quick, I'll say it because it's like the only detail I could really remember. It was like this open area, but it wasn't like flat or anything. I don't really know how to describe it, except there was a lot of rock platforms and whatnot. I really don't know how to describe it, but basically, I remember that there was this stairs made out of rock, but they weren't like formal stairs or anything. So there's that. They were really fucking scary because I think they were wide, but they were also slippery for some reason. I don't really remember why. I think it was like snowy at the time, and there was ice on them. There was no handrail, by the way. So yeah, stairs that are wide, or actually it might not even been wide. Maybe they were narrow. Either they were wide or narrow, I can't remember, but they were wide/narrow, possibly. They were super slippery, no handrails whatsoever. Yeah, fall on that shit, you're gonna have a real fucking bad day at that point. I can guarantee you that. I was fucking super scared I was gonna fall. Luckily I didn't. I don't think anyone did, but yeah, I kind of fucking shit bricks that day. Anyways, you can continue.
Okay. Well, after we went into the crown, like, let's just say the way they specifically made us do it was that all the kids, even though me and Brandon are over 18, that's how they said it. The parents had to basically sandwich me, Brandon, and his brother Justin in. Justin, of course, didn't listen, and he went ahead, so his mom kind of chased after him, and so did Brandon. Me and his dad kind of just hung back. Like, I kind of slowly went up because I was afraid of falling. Because of how, like, I would say going up the stairs is one thing, but going down the stairs, I had to go down one step at a time.
Were they really that narrow?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like a spiral staircase, like, and it goes up for quite a bit. Like, you're basically inside Lady Liberty's insides, and you're climbing up her friggin' spinal cord, basically.
So did you count the steps?
I didn't count the steps, but funny thing is, when climbing to the top of the pedestal, they actually tell you how many steps it is before you're at the top. Like, there's signs telling you.
So, were these the kind of stairs that had the gaps in between, or were they just normal stairs?
These were basically normal stairs, but, there would be points where you could freaking get off the stairs and take a break, like on solid floor, like off to the side of the spiral staircase, but as you went up, it got narrower and narrower, and...
Really?
It got narrower and narrower to the point where these little stops were impossible.
What do you mean impossible? Like, I don't understand.
Like, basically, there wasn't enough room to step off to the side.
That sounds weird.
So basically, it was like, all right, now we're in the final destination. Go there or bust.
Well, yeah, we got to the top, and because it's narrow, essentially, and there's more than obviously more people trying to climb the stairs. More or less, you only get like about maybe 10 seconds to like view outside the crown, or maybe even not, maybe a bit longer than that. Like I got a very short video of me videoing what the windows in the crown look like.
So you only have while up there. You can't stay up there for a long time. You think, hey, you saw the sights. Okay, bye now.
More or less, because they have to push everybody through.
Okay. Is there an up and down staircase? You go up and then back down the same staircase.
Yeah. You have to go down the same staircase on the other side. And
so there's two different staircases.
Yeah, it's a spiral staircase.
Oh.
So there's two different staircases on the spiral.
Oh, okay.
And so they're like meshed together.
But you're not running each other. You can't wait for everyone to come back down, so you go back up, and another crew goes back up.
Yeah, no, you go up, you look through the crown, you go down.
I know, but I was making sure you're not bumping into somebody else coming down when you're going up.
No, you don't bump into people coming down. No.
All right, so be like, okay, wait 20 minutes or 30. How long did it take you to climb the stairs?
Like a couple of minutes at least.
Oh, okay. So like a 10-minute or 20-minute walk upstairs.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Wow, that's long the stairs. Okay, we see the top in about an hour. Like what? An hour walking.
I mean, a good chunk of the day was getting on and off of Liberty Island. But what happened, so we get down, and then we ended up viewing a little museum that surrounded, like, the bottom of the pedestal. Like, we got this little audio guide that explained the entire history of the statue.
Is that the place where they get the immigrants at back in the day?
No. That's an entirely separate island.
Okay.
But the moment you enter the pedestal, you actually do get to see the original torch for the statue up close and personal. And on the island, they're in the middle of constructing a more full-fledged museum. Like, it's still under construction, but they had, like, all the signs up and everything. Coming 2019. Wow. And they're actually going to relocate the original torch into that new museum.
So, what's up with this original torch thing?
Well, the statue was originally set up to basically be a beacon for ships to know that they're coming close to the New York harbor.
Basically like a lighthouse.
A lighthouse, yeah.
Okay.
But as that became less and less necessary into the 1900s, it more or less just became a tourist attraction.
Just like when ships made their own lights.
So
yeah.
So they took down the torch?
Well, the original torch started to suffer a lot of wear and tear, which is to be expected. Like, you have freaking weather, you have natural degradation of the materials. So, rather than restore the original torch, they just took it down and replaced it with a new one.
So what does the new one do? Nothing, or?
The new one is basically just for show.
Does it do anything?
I guess it lights up in a way,
but not the same way as the torch.
As the original, no.
That's sad.
But, yeah, supposedly, originally the tour actually let you travel up the arm of the Statue of Liberty where the torch is, but they stopped doing that because the condition of the arm has been going down and they don't want to deteriorate it.
Oh, so the torch doesn't torch anymore, and the Liberty Bell doesn't ring anymore.
In Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but after I did get a photo in front of the statue. Like, we did go on like the bottom of the pedestal where the statue can be clearly seen, and I got a photo thanks to, I think Brandon's mom took the photo. And then we went into a long line onto the boat back. But thankfully, we only had to wait for 2 boats. Like, the first boat left without us because we didn't make it to the front of the line in time. But then the second boat we were able to get on.
Wow.
The boat ride back took a long time because, like Vandalia mentioned, there is another famous island that's a tourist attraction, which is Ellis Island. And if you don't know what Ellis Island is, even though you probably should, Ellis Island was more or less the island where immigrants came to the U.S. back in the old days. So, once again, like the Statue of Liberty, its original purpose ended, and now it's just a tourist attraction. So we had to wait for the boat to stop at Ellis Island first, but because we weren't getting off at Ellis Island, we didn't really want to go see it.
Yeah, they don't need boats anymore. They can have airplanes take you anywhere now. So I guess boats aren't really necessary, and now boats have headlights. They don't need a lighthouse. So yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But
technology.
Eventually, we got back to the mainland. And then we went, after grabbing lunch at basically at what could best be described as a pizza bar. We went straight to the 9/11 museum. And at the 9/11 museum, I did warn them beforehand that the 9/11 museum wasn't exactly going to be a happy place to go into.
Well,
like,
that'd be kind of given.
Yeah, like I warned them that it was probably not going to be a visit for the faint of heart, obviously.
Is the memorial that intensive, or?
I mean, I think Brandon would say so, because as soon as we got in, like, I would explain everything that I knew to them, like there's a lot of surviving debris from the original Twin Towers in the museum, because the museum is built on the foundation of the original towers.
And are they as tall as the original one, or taller?
Well, there's only one more. They only built one tower in place of the Twin Towers. And I think that one tower is taller than the originals, yes. But, yeah, we were walking around, and I started explaining a lot of things. Eventually, everyone just kind of went silent. Only really Brandon would somewhat respond to my thing, the stuff I had to say. And then we went through, more or less, the interactive timeline detailing the entirety of the attacks. And I didn't listen to this personally, but they had phones set up where you could actually listen to, like, the final conversations that some of the victims had with their families. I didn't listen to them because I think I listened to them before when I got to go, because this was not my first time there. I actually went to it when it first opened, right after I graduated high school.
Jesus Christ.
So about 4 years ago?
Fucking listen.
Yeah, about 4 years ago. I will say, the line to get in back then was freaking jam-packed, probably because it just opened, but the line this time was not nearly as long.
Jesus Christ, you could listen in the fucking last conversations?
Yeah, and Brandon did that. Brandon did just that.
So, how was his reaction to it?
He got emotional over it.
Like, did he cry, or was he sorrowful?
From what I understand, I think it may have brought a tear to his eye, and he felt really bad to have to hear those calls. but he wasn't like bawling his eyes out. Like, before we went in, I told him a story about my first visit. We were in this hall where we saw the victims' names being listed, and there was a guy in there who I can only assume was a family member or friend of one of the deceased. He was bawling his eyes out like it was a Looney Tunes cartoon. Not a pleasant sight. Thankfully, there wasn't a repeat of that this time, which probably only would have made things worse for Brandon, but...
Probably.
But we go to the gift shop right after we were done with the timeline. Brandon ended up buying a keychain for the memorial, and he ended up making a $10 donation. He felt it was necessary.
A donation towards what?
The memorial.
Like, what about it, though? Like, to keep it open, or...?
I guess just towards the foundation, because there's a lot of programs that I think help out the families of the victims. Because keep in mind, 9/11's effects are still kind of felt today.
Like, wait, what kind of support would they even get, though? Like,
well,
therapists?
Keep in mind, when the towers went down, a lot of dust was in the air. So a lot of people that were in the immediate area of the towers inhaled that dust. And that's led to a lot of cases of cancer.
Yeah,
so you can say that the donations kind of go towards that. There's also other, like, they might also go to, like, the police and the firefighters, also to basically anything having to do with it.
Honestly, I don't really know how I feel about donations towards cancer. I mean, it just seems like something that's kind of pointless, because don't you ever hear nothing but, oh, people die from cancer and there's like seemingly no cure for it all the time?
Except cancer usually is treatable. There's no direct cure, but there's treatment.
There is? Well, then why is it still a big issue, though? That's what I don't get.
Because there are some cancer that is terminal. Like, it really depends on what kind of cancer it is. There's some cancer where literally all you need is surgery to remove it and you're done. There's some where you might have to go into chemo, but then the chemo gets rid of it. And there's some that are so aggressive that basically all you can do is prolong your health.
So what was after 9/11?
Well, Brandon's dad wanted to go to the top of a new tower, but then he took one look at the price and he's like, "Fuck this! As walking by, it's enough." He's like, he basically, I forget what the actual price was, but he was like $50 just to go to the top of a building.
Did it cost money before or not?
I'm pretty sure it always costed money. But and then he also wanted to go to the top of the Empire State Building, like what I did years ago, but that also costs money. He's like, I'm not paying money to go to the top of a building. So all we did was we went to where the Empire State Building is, and he walked by it and took pictures, and that was it.
Wow.
And then after that, we ended up going to the Nintendo store that Brandon really wanted to visit because it was very close by. So we go in the Nintendo store, and we ended up browsing. Like, the first floor basically just had a whole bunch of Mario merchandise, plus Nintendo merchandise in general. They did have Amiibos there, but nothing I wanted.
Yeah, we saw some of your pictures on Skype, and I don't know if you filmed on Discord or not.
Yeah, I did. We did take pictures in there. Then we go to the second floor. That's where they had all their games for sale. But I didn't buy anything because obviously there was no sale prices. They were all just their standard asking prices. I debated buying Crash on the Switch only because I kind of wanted to get the Switch version of that. But because it wasn't on sale, obviously, I didn't get it. Though I did end up getting it yesterday because Best Buy had it on sale, and I still have my fucking membership that you can't buy anymore. So I got it for basically half price, and now I can play Crash on the go.
Even though if you pretty much play it, you know, once you're done with all 3 games, there's like no replay value anymore.
Really? I would say there's plenty of replay value.
I mean, when you do everything in the game, then yeah, it's not really worth to play it constantly.
Because I always try to do it faster.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on how far you're willing to go with it. Because for me, it'd pretty much just be 100% all 3 games. I don't really know about time trials, though. Time trials, trying to get the highest thing you can get for time trials in each level, in each game, is beyond fucking difficult. Like, oh my god, it is ridiculous.
Hey, at least it's Crash Race Mode. What do you expect?
It's probably worse than Shrek Race Mode, if anything.
Well,
I would love to have Brandon listen to you now.
Really?
Because Shrek Race Mode is unbelievable.
Yeah, but Crash Race Mode, in terms of trying to get the highest thing, I don't even remember what it was, but trying to get the highest thing that you can get is really fucking bullshittingly hard.
So have we reached the Crash Bash part of your tour yet, or we still get ways to go?
No, not yet. We're still in the city. So we go to Nintendo. We're on the second floor. And that's where they have all the games, plus merchandise for other games like Zelda, Pokemon, Kirby, and the likes. Brandon bought a jacket a red jacket with the Nintendo New York logo on it. I got the same thing, except it was a t-shirt. And I also got a thermos.
What does it look like?
An NES controller on it, only because, why not? I actually have it right here. Here.
Schnick has unlimited access to the Nintendo New York store.
Unlimited power.
Yeah.
Unlimited Nintendo power.
If I did want to go back, it would just be a simple train ride there, yeah. And they even had a display case with pretty much all the amiibos made, and I felt a little salty that they had both Cloud amiibos in there, and there's no way to buy them correctly.
Both Cloud amiibos?
Yeah, for Super Smash Brothers, they have 2 Cloud amiibos, one of him in his FF7 outfit, and one of him in his Advent Children outfit.
Oh, you think that would be been like a Sony thing, not a Nintendo thing? Or Squaresoft?
Well, I didn't get why Cloud only got in because of popularity, even though it didn't really make sense.
Well, he is very popular. Or
Yeah.
just popular. Some people hate him. That makes him even more popular, I guess.
Popularity equals power.
Well, right after the Nintendo... Well, the funny thing is, we happened to walk into that store when they actually had... What's funny is that we actually were in the store at the same time a game developer was visiting the store to show off a game.
Really?
Yeah, like, legit, what happened was, there was a crowd of people on the second floor watching a demonstration of Monster Hunter World. No, not Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Generations on the Switch.
Oh, that game.
And that the new Monster Hunter game for the Switch, and then all of a sudden the announcer started announcing a freaking drawing for a prize, and then she ended up constantly thanking one Mr. Kojima, and for a minute we thought it was Hideo Kojima of Metal Gear fame, but then I looked it up and I found it's actually another guy called Shintaro Kojima, who is the producer of Monster Hunter.
Well,
still, being in the same building as a developer of a AAA game isn't something that happens every day.
it seems kind of weird that it was such a big thing, because all in all, it's just a port of the 3DS game. With like a couple new things.
Nintendo had to do something.
I suppose. Maybe let us play some Smash Ultimate.
They probably will soon.
Meanwhile, all we get to see of Vandalia now is his iPad in his right hand.
It's hard to...
after the Nintendo store, we just went to Times Square and we saw it all lit up at night. We kind of walked around and browsed in the stores. We went through the Disney store with Brandon's mom, since I guess Brandon's mom is a big Disney freak, just like my ma is. And the funny thing is, there were quite a few Lego sets there, including the fucking late Lego Death Star that middle school schnick wanted.
How much does that cost?
Nowadays, I don't care.
Like, probably a lot of money. That even for sale.
$500.
Yeah, fucking.
Trust me. I mean, I think Brandon's brother got a little pissy when his parents wouldn't buy him any of the Lego sets, because I guess he really loves Legos. And then his dad, both his mom and dad were like, look at the Millennium Falcon, that's $800 for Legos.
Is that life size or just model?
No, it's not
life size, mate. Fucking, oh my god. Those are some big ass Legos.
Or a lot of little Legos.
That's a big ass box. Fuck. You're probably paying more money for the fucking cardboard used up than the fucking Lego pieces at that point.
I think it'd be like something like a not for sale, but you know, just for like the display, a life size display of Legos.
Mommy, Daddy, buy me a fucking thing that the store isn't having put up for sale. I want it.
So, like, if you're the president, you might be able to afford that.
Contact the president
like,
of the United States of America.
Mr. Trump, can you buy me a Lego set?
How'd you get this number?
Hang on a sec. I'm just trying to think what we did after Times Square, because, I mean, after Times Square, we tried to walk back to Brandon's hotel to get dinner. But Brandon's mom, I guess, got a whole bunch of blisters from walking so much, so she ended up calling an Uber for us.
Wow.
So we ended up going to a restaurant across the street from Brandon's hotel, and then after that, she called an Uber for us again, and we got driven to Grand Central.
The train station?
And because we got on a train, and we rode that train back home, and Brandon was with me for a couple of days after that. Like, day one, we rode the train to 2 of my retro game stores. Well, we had to walk from the train station after we got to the town where they were at, but it was it was hot that day, but it was worth it. In fact, I remember a store employee who I think is maybe one of the managers of the first store. She's like, "It's hot out there, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yeah, we walked all the way here from the train station." She's like, "Oh, you are crazy." and then I even mentioned that Brandon was from out of state, and I wanted to show him the store. And she's like, and she talks to him. She's like, "You let him do that?" I'm like, and Brandon's like, "Well, I walked for my job, so I said it was okay." And then she called us troopers for freaking being able to withstand it.
Wow. I would have probably said something like, "Yeah, well, I live in a desert. It's called Phoenix, so this is not anything new."
Well, that's probably what you're gonna say when you eventually come.
Probably.
So I'll probably take you on the same trip if you can take the walk.
Oops, wrong area. Great advertisement.
Oh. God damn it.
Trying to think. So, Brandon didn't get anything the first time we were at the first store, because basically how it was is we walk to the first store, we browse, and then we leave, go all the way to the second store, and then we walk back, and then we were going to go back in the first store to get anything we didn't get the first time. So Brandon saw a few things he was interested in, but then he decided to go to store number 2 to see if they had it too, maybe for a cheaper price. Me, I just got the game I'm playing right now.
Wow.
Which is this one here.
Resident Evil. Dark Side Chronicles.
Yeah.
The Dark Phil Chronicles.
With online multiplayer, apparently.
The Dark Side Phil Chronicles.
No, it's only online multiplayer that it had was leaderboards.
What? Really? Nintendo Wi-Fi connection enabled leaderboards.
I mean, it's an arcade shooter.
But like, no multiplayer.
It's like House of the Dead.
But House of the Dead had multiplayer. Online multiplayer too.
Online, I don't think.
I'm pretty sure House of the Dead on Wii had online multiplayer.
Not on the Wii, definitely not. Like,
why wouldn't there be? I'm looking it up because I swear I fucking saw that there was online multiplayer.
Well, so that was what we got. That's what I got at the store when we were there the first time. We stopped at Burger King to grab a little snack, and Brandon found out that a soda discontinued in the 80s or 90s was actually being resold at Burger King, and he ended up getting it. I forgot the name, but it was like this green soda that I think Coke manufactured. Vandalia, do you happen to know?
Brings Surge?
Surge, yeah. Burger King apparently brought back Surge in their freestyle machines.
Surge? What's that?
It's like a lemon lime soda, I think. So Brandon got that for himself as his drink, and we got like $1 chicken sandwiches.
Fuck? Okay, alright, wow. So, apparently there actually is an online multiplayer for that. What the fuck?
I don't think light gun shooters have ever had online multiplayer. It was always only local.
Oh, I wonder why there wasn't online.
Well, online was probably just for leaderboards or something.
I mean, it is somewhat of a novel idea, though. I mean, it's not going to go too far, but still. I don't see why it wouldn't be a possibility.
I mean, one thing I do kind of hate is that it seems that our light gun shooters are just not getting home ports anymore, which is weird. Like, Time Crisis 5 has been in arcades for years, yet it's never gotten a home port, and now a new House of the Dead game is coming out, and that one might not get a home port either.
It's weird.
Even though it's entirely possible, because the PlayStation Move is on the PS4.
And even then, you have the gyroscope of the DualShock 4 controller, so
Yeah.
that's even less of a reason to say no.
Even it would be a lot more crude, but even the Switch Joy-Cons could do it. But not so
oh yeah. Well, no, the Switch Joy-Cons could easily fucking pull that off, easily.
Yeah, like. But with the PS4, like it's not out of the question to do it. So I just don't understand why they don't do it.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no fucking sense. And how many years has it been since Time Crisis 5 came out on arcade?
About 3 years.
Jesus Christ, 3 years?
Speaking of arcades, when we get to my story, I got some tell there. Okay, so
Okay.
continue.
I mean to be fair, you could always just say never, because House of the Dead 4 came out in arcades in 2006. It's a PS3 port. Sorry for the stuttering. Its PS3 port did not come out until 2012. 6 years later. So maybe it could come out one day, but we'll have to see.
I don't know. I mean, okay, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Out of everything that I would want out of a home port light gun game, I would really, really want a remaster of the first Time Crisis. That would be really fucking amazing for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is, but it seems like after Time Crisis 1 and 2, the series just kind of got somewhat stale. I mean, yeah, Time Crisis 3 introduced, or I think it introduced the whole gun mechanic, but then after that, it just kind of seemed like it just got more and more stale, and there was nothing unique. Like, I just don't know what it is, but Time Crisis 1 and 2 just has that certain niche that it can't recapture, and it's just, it has a special place.
I know that 5 kind of pandered to nostalgia because 5 actually had returning characters from 2.
Really? Well, technically, each Time Crisis game panders to nostalgia because of Wild Dogs. So there's that.
He was basically the only returning character in any of the games, aside from maybe the Crisis Mission mode, which maybe was or wasn't considered canon. But yeah, Time Crisis 5, in the story, the 2-player characters from the second game return. Like, one of them's and the thing is, 5 is actually 6 stages, 3 of which were at launch and 3 of which were in an update, and then the other character comes back in the updated stages, and then you find out the other character, through some twist, was the villain the whole time. But yeah, so the only chance I would get to play Time Crisis 5 is if I went out to a Dave & Buster's and they happened to have a cabinet of it there. Because last time I was at Dave & Buster's, they had it, but I didn't get to, and I did play it, but I think I died after the first stage. In fact, if I did have a free day, I'd have to consider finding a way to get to a Dave & Buster's, even if it is on my own.
Oh. I just realized we got completely sidetracked.
Well, it's funny I bring up Dave & Buster's because I proposed bringing Brandon there, but I ultimately didn't because we didn't have enough time.
Honestly, Dave & Buster's is just a fucking scam because they are extremely expensive. It's not even funny.
I was at Dave & Buster's. It was like a Chuck E. Cheese for adults.
It basically is.
I just don't like how insanely expensive they can get with their games. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think that's why you go during a weekday when they actually slash the prices, I think.
Yeah, but the thing though is, why go to a Dave & Buster's when I could go to my local arcade where I can pretty much get a card that lets me play basically unlimited all day. Unless it was like a special day like Labor Day or something like that.
I think mainly because it's like I said, it's a Chuck E. Cheese for adults where you can drink.
Well, there's that, but there's also this other thing. My local arcade isn't only just an arcade. It's only a part of the whole thing, because it's also an amusement park where they have roller coasters and shit. I've never tried their amusement park. I've only tried their local arcade. I've only heard one person that I know say about how the prices aren't too good on the amusement, but I mean, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it since I never tried it, and I don't even know what the rides are like from other than looking at it from the outside, but other than that, the arcade is pretty good.
Well, you're just lucky to have a cheap arcade. How about that?
I am lucky, but I'm not lucky to be able to go a lot because I don't want to spend all my money at once. So
we don't have an arcade at all where I live.
Yeah?
No. Yeah.
It's pretty hard to find an arcade because pretty much almost all of them are barcades, and it's kind of stupid. I mean, I can see why.
Actually, I've always loved the environment of bars, so that's why Dave and Buster's was appealing to me.
I don't really like the environment of bars simply because of just past experiences with people I know and alcohol mixing. It's just really bad times. Plus, I really don't know how to interact with people that are drunk, so things just get way too messy when that comes into play. So I just don't like drunk stuff.
That's typically the reason why you bring a friend.
What do you mean?
That's why you bring a friend.
Yeah, I know, but I don't get
that
what
way
you
have
mean.
someone to interact with and maybe talk about the stupidity of the drunk guy next to you or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Plus, if you do get drunk, your friend can drive you home.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, don't worry about me drinking, because I will never fucking drink.
Well,
I mean,
I hope not at least another 3 years anyways.
I mean, Brandon may sweet talk me into fucking Mike's Hard Lemonade if I ever visit him again, but, I mean, even if I do drink that, that's not gonna get me...
Sweet talking.
I don't know. I mean, fucking... Brandon has talked to me about how he drinks Mike's Hard Lemonade only because his parents allow him to. And I'm not gonna be surprised if his parents allow me to either, but... I mean, in the past I told him, oh, I'm not going to drink hard lemonade or some shit like that, but if he, I mean, it's always possible he would talk me into it, and I'd just be like, okay, whatever. It's like barely any alcohol. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, come on, Adam. You know you want to.
Yeah. I mean,
peer pressure, Brandon.
I mean, it might be a possibility that I would try it, but... You know, I would not try something like Bud Light or whiskey or anything like that. Even if I was 21. It's just shit. That shit I don't like. Mike's Hard Lemonade, maybe, but I never tried it in the first place, so I can't really say anything. Or at least not yet.
Well, yeah, I just brought all... We did get sidetracked, so me and getting back to the whole game store, me and Brandon left Burger King, we made it to the second store. There, Brandon actually bought some stuff. He got a Super Famicom game, he also got Resident Evil Code Veronica on the PS2, though he specifically got it disc only, even though there were complete in-box copies available, just because he wanted it cheaper. Because disc-only copies were half price. Half the normal price, I think. Then, I forget what else he got there, but he ended up buying me a brand new control stick for my green N64 controller. He even installed it while he was here.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, he kept saying it was up to me if I wanted it, but I just did it. And then I took a look at I actually do have the original stick he took out. And, yeah, it does look kind of dirty and doesn't exactly feel right.
Huh.
But, yeah. In fact, I come downstairs after taking a shower when we got back, and he was already testing it out on Mario 64.
Wow.
So, I got a whole bunch of stuff from the second store. More or less, while I was at these stores, I kind of went on a Resident Evil binge, only because I didn't know what else to get.
So do you own all the Resident Evil games now?
I own most of them. I think the only ones I'm missing physical copies of are the Game Boy Color game, the PS1 game Survivor, and the PS2 game Dead Aim. But all of those aren't considered that great. And of course, I'll probably buy the remake of 2 when it comes out. Because, I'll admit, when it comes to my game preferences, I've started to really prefer linear adventure games that tell a single story and are very level and objective-based, versus the majority of single-player games nowadays that love incorporating open-world elements. Like, I don't know. I am suffering from major open-world game burnout.
Open world? Like Breath of the Wild open world, or?
More GTA open world.
What's the difference
between open worlds? But yeah, that's kind of why I haven't gone to finish Breath of the Wild, because I don't know. I just kind of like a game that's only 5, maybe 10 hours long at most, and then you're done with it. Like, I'd rather it be damn good gameplay but short rather than fucking long. But
well, I don't mind long games as long as they have a story to go with it, keep me occupied. Really, Breath of the Wild doesn't have it.
That's the problem with open world games. I found that many of them don't have particularly good stories.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild story itself is pretty much a small. It becomes all the side stories, like all the side quests.
Well, I think the story in Breath of the Wild is more about the experience that the player personally has, rather than just expecting what the game story is supposed to be. If that makes any sense. I feel like it's kind of the game speaks for itself kind of thing. If that makes any sense.
I would say probably out of all the open world games I've played over the years, only GTA 4 has held up. Like, GTA 4 is probably the only open world game where, I'm in the mood to play an open world game. GTA 4 is probably the only one that would be my go-to choice.
Another thing we gotta get on our friends list.
Yeah, after I figure out the whole job situation, which probably isn't gonna take long, because that's one thing my dad reassured me with, that my freaking school bill situation is not as dire as my freaking imaginative mind was making it out to be.
The school bills. Apparently, I heard rumors about how somebody apparently paid $20,000 in school student loans and is still paying them back to this day. The interest is like crazy.
And that's why I'm not going to college, pretty much.
Well, no, the interest is meant to be... No, I've been making the interest payments since the beginning, and the whole thing is, I think a lot of people that still pay for fucking school years later, I think they just kind of blow their money on a whole lot of stuff they want. Or they move out, maybe they move out of their house too early.
Probably got pregnant.
Well, there's that. Like, whole thing is, I'm in a 10-year program where it's not going to take any more than 10 years to pay it all off. And if I want to pay it off faster, I can.
Does that can you just do the minimum payment or like that, or?
Well, under the minimum payments, I would be done in 10 years.
But what about interest?
The interest is included.
So, if you paid the minimum price in 10 years, would it even be paid off?
Yeah.
Would you be paying more than you borrowed, or?
No, the whole thing is, you're encouraged to make the interest payments as early as you can, because that just makes it easier for you.
Yeah.
Like, because essentially, I would be paying a certain amount of money each month, which includes interest payments and just the payments. So, under that program, you'd be done. But I think the reason why a lot of people are still in debt years later is, number one, they probably spend a lot of their money moving out of their house, maybe on child support, other things that might get in the way, car payments and the likes. And there's also the fact that they may have gone to an expensive school.
I feel like it also partly has to do with just the fact that it seems like pretty much every job requires you to have a lot of education put into a job, and that seems like it's every single job that you could even think of, including the entry-level ones. Like, for entry level, you're gonna...
For it. Like, ultimately, I would say college is necessary. It's not for everyone, but it really does help you out in figuring out what your career desires are.
Honestly, I think I would have to disagree with the whole finding your career thing in college, because to me it just sounds like that if you're in college only to figure out what career path you want to take, it just sounds like you're just blowing off your time when you could have been putting it into something else instead.
Well, it could be true.
Plus, wouldn't it be cheaper to do that kind of thing in a trade school?
Well, sometimes sometimes you go to college, you think you know what you want to do. When you get there, you're like, or trade school too. Like, you go there, you're like, oh my fucking god, why did I pick this career path? It sucks.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, the statistics of people who go into college under one major and they come out of college having switched their major, it is very high. Like, I never switched my major, but I don't know. Me working my on-campus job made me discover I really liked that kind of work. Just a small-time job where you just go and casually help people learn technology, like simple technology.
Well, that's why I feel like that high schools should have a program that teaches you about job stuff, kind of like what my program is, except more in finding your career kind of thing. And I'm not talking about that bullshit test where it's like, oh, you basically take the test and it suggests careers. No, I'm talking about something a bit more intensive than that, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but it's just something that should be able to help you find a career path. And I guess the only way you could really figure that out is to try different things. So it would be like an experimental kind of thing. You try out different things and see what works with you. And if something doesn't work, then it doesn't work. It shouldn't be find your career by only reading it in text. It should be you try it too. Because after all, that's the experience, right? I don't think that you should only have to do it in a fucking college while paying tons of goddamn money only to then switch another major, and then it's just ridiculousness.
Yeah, depending on if you switch your major, depending on when you switch it, yeah, it can make you be in school for even longer and raise your bill.
And depending on which classes are transferable to your next thing, like some classes might be like, all generic classes might be transferable to, but other classes might be like, you just waste your time taking that class. Goodbye.
And what the fucking most bullshit thing that high school has ever told me is that they're preparing me for college. That is the most bullshit fucking thing I heard from high school.
I
they
would
prepare
say
you for
my
college, my
personal
fucking
opinion,
asshole.
My college education, it needed to happen because it helped me meet a lot of people that could really help me out in.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of people just go to college for connections.
It really helped me out in connecting. Yeah, like
yep.
My major was communication. I figure I would want to spend a career just communicating.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people go to frats and stuff and sororities. They have connections to people.
Like, there's many different ways you can communicate with people, and that's something I'm a bit curious to find out. So, whole thing is, I'm not too worried about paying the bill for my school because I'm not moving out of my house anytime soon, and the fact that my freaking dating history is non-existent, I'm probably not going to get married anytime soon.
Oh yeah.
So my only focus is on that bill, and I'm not at all concerned because my mom and dad aren't paying the school bill anymore. They haven't for decades.
Nice. So back to the Brandon story.
Yeah,
we now return you to our regular scheduled program already in progress.
Yeah, so with Brandon, we visit the second store. We got a whole bunch of stuff. We start walking back to the train station, which included going back to the first store. There, Brandon got the last things he wanted, which were Rare Replay on the Xbox One, the expansion cartridge for Sonic 3 on the Genesis, and he also got a third-party controller pack for the N64. He tested it on my N64 and it didn't work.
Wow.
So I proposed returning it for him and then giving him $4 in exchange, but he said it was fine. He was going to keep it. He said he was going to figure it out more when he got home and see if he was doing something wrong. But if he can't get it working, he's probably just going to break it.
So what do you mean figure it out and see if he did something wrong? Like, what, did he control... Did he put in the control... Did he put in the controller backwards into your N64?
No.
Like,
anytime I tested it on several games that use the controller pack for saving. When he started it up, because you have to turn the game on while holding start on the controller to read the controller pack. And the controller pack would always come up corrupted. No, the first time we booted it up, it was corrupted and he had to format it. So we restart the game and it's just fine. He creates a save file, he reboots the game, it's corrupted again.
wow. So I still don't get how you could just do something wrong.
He didn't exactly play far into the game, so I think he didn't think he was saving right.
But what? But there's like only one way to save, though, isn't there?
I mean, well, the first game he tested was The World's Not Enough on N64, and he never finished the mission.
Well, then...
And then we tested
okay.
Spider-Man, which I thought would give you a save prompt, but it didn't.
Well, I don't know why it would come up as corrupted. That doesn't seem right.
Well, it's a third-party control memory card, so it probably isn't built on the right technology.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But, yeah, so we come back from the store, we shower and everything, and we ended up spending the next day just at home.
Is that where you experience Crash Bash 2-player mode?
Well, I think Brandon showered first, and then after he got out, he started working on the controller, and I went to go shower. I come back, he's playing Mario 64, and shortly after that, we did play Crash Bash, and that's where the live stream happened.
But check it out on his channel.
No. We didn't play Crash Bash first. Brandon sped run Shrek. And I gave him an extra challenge. I made him use the Duke controller, which he hates.
For me, that wouldn't even be a challenge.
The Duke controller?
Duke.
Yeah, the Duke controller, which is the original model Xbox controller. It's a lot fatter than the one that most people are accustomed to.
I still don't understand why people refer to that controller as the Duke controller. What even?
Well, that's what they. Well, the thing is, they relaunched that controller for the Xbox One, and they called it the Duke.
But isn't that what they always called it, though?
I guess, but I'm not sure.
Well, that's my problem, though. Like, why did they call it the Duke controller? There's no traits that I could even figure out. But, like, what does Duke have to... Is that even a word?
Yeah, Duke. It's like a rank below king. Like the Duke of York, or the Duke of whatever.
Oh, so basically we're calling the fat Xbox original controller the king of controllers. All right.
Yeah, because
all right. Fat. Yeah, and kings gotta have a meal worthy for kings, right?
Yeah, that's why Burger King has meals worthy for kings.
There you go. I guess that explains it. The mystery is solved-ish. Isk.
Yeah,
well, where going with this.
So he speedruns Shrek, and then we played Crash Bash, and then we kind of rage quit, and then we kind of moved to playing Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles in 2-player.
I was there for the end of that almost. I don't say the whole thing, but I was there for most of that.
Yeah, well, then after that, we went upstairs, and because my dad blew up an air mattress for Brandon, and he slept on there, and I went on the couch.
Don't you have a bed?
Yeah, I have a bed right there, but...
Wait, so why didn't you just go on your bed?
Layers, I guess.
What? So you're fucking telling me... Wait, no. So you're telling me that your fucking dad got an air mattress and inflated it for Brandon, so you felt bad that Brandon had to sleep on an air mattress, so to make up for it, you slept on the couch, which at that point, Brandon could have just took your bed anyways.
Sometimes an air mattress is more... Actually, sometimes an air mattress can be more comfortable than a bed.
Yeah, because I guess it's more flexible, but I went on the couch right next to the air mattress. I guess that Brandon didn't have to sleep on his own.
No. The more important question is, why didn't your dad blow up the air mattress downstairs in your room?
Because there's not enough room for it. Like, basically, if I put it... I cleaned up the floor here, but the thing is, it could fit here, but then there'd be no room to walk.
You could also say the same exact thing for my bedroom. If I really wanted to, there probably could be a way to fit it, but there's just simply so little room that if I fit an air mattress in my bedroom, pretty much there's no room for me to walk. So, my room is like so awkwardly set up that it's just like there's a bunch of fucking shit in like one corner. And it's not like there's everything on the floor. There's like a fucking thing, like drawers, I guess. But it's just, I don't know how to explain it. But basically, there's just a bunch of stuff in a corner. And then there's like a walkway. And yeah, that's about it. I could show you my room, but it's disgust.
So it's like the Finger family, huh?
Schnick, the Finger family is basically Ebola of YouTube. We don't talk about that, alright?
It's the Ebola of YouTube?
Uh-huh. We don't
Yeah,
talk
like-
about that.
Rule number 1 about YouTube: we don't talk about YouTube.
Yeah, I'd say that because I mentioned numerous times on Skype and Discord that I don't like listening to popular YouTubers' opinions because they see a lot of them seem to love pushing their opinions as fact, and I've noticed quite a few of them don't like doing research and push false information. Or information that's not recommended. Or I wouldn't recommend. Like I mentioned the rocket power example already.
So what do you guys do the next day after your air mattress couch?
Well, yeah. The next day we kind of just hung around the house. We ended up just spending most of it. I ended up just spending most of it just helping Brandon finish Resident Evil Revelations 2 in co-op.
I forgot the most important question. Did you count how many baby kisses Brandon got?
What?
In his visits?
You expect him to count that shit?
Yeah, I couldn't count that.
Yeah, mate. Oh my god, that would be a fucking gargantuous task.
I mean, I will say Brandon did basically fall in love with that dog.
Did he know?
Yeah, like, if we had Brandon on here right now, he would say, I'll tell you one thing, he was a cutie. Because, and numerous times, my dog would bring toys to him, and he would just kind of play fetch with him.
Wow.
Like, I'll admit, I felt a little sad on the inside as I saw Brandon playing with the dog, only because I'm wondering if Brandon's ever going to get another chance to play with him again.
Well, how old is your dog? Like a couple
He's 3.
years? Oh, it's not that old.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon said it's most likely Brandon could be coming back here in a couple of years.
You mentioned something about a cookout before the trip. You guys have that cookout?
Well, yeah, that was on Monday when he and his parents came to my house.
I forgot you mentioned that. I didn't hear you mention that, I guess.
Yeah, so... Yeah, Thursday... I mean, at the very least, I did get videos of Brandon playing with him. Like, particularly the first video when he was chasing him in redneck mode. Did you say something? Adam?
No, but Vandalia is having some connection issue. Oh, there he's back. Okay. Wow, you froze out for a moment there, Vandalia. Oh,
yeah,
Pokesaurus
so
is finally
my
here.
dog entered redneck mode and Brandon started chasing him.
Hey, Pokesaurus, welcome finally. So you can't share the share the videos?
I mean, I have them, but yeah, I couldn't share them right now.
Okay.
Maybe I could share them a bit later. So let's see.
So Pokesaurus, while he's talking, you have any trips you want to share? You want to share in chat?
The only other thing we did Thursday was we ended up recording Brandon spent a good chunk of the day tweaking a script for a Shrek on Xbox review.
Oh,
and
you're...
we videotaped a short intro to the video.
And you're gonna edit in MarioTube apparently.
I mean, I had an idea for MarioTube appearing, but because of the way Brandon videoed the live action scenes, now I'm not sure if it would work. So we.
Well, I mean, I would like to help you out with that, but you just never really sent me anything to even work with.
I mean, I don't want you tweaking all the work. I don't want you messing with all the work Brandon did because I don't want to get Brandon mad. So I guess we'd have to do it under both. You'd have to look at it under both our supervision.
Okay, that sounds weird the way you explain that, but okay.
Okay. But yeah, so we videoed the intro. Basically, all that happened was I'm shown laying on the bed. I go to get the case from the shelf. Brandon's seen coming down the stairs to visit me for the first time. I do a motion that Brandon describes as the Resident Evil zombie head turn. And then Brandon runs up the stairs, and I kind of chase him like Michael Myers. That's the way I described it. Like, I just start walking after him, and it was like almost nighttime at that point. So we went outside. I set up a camera on the tripod, and then I run after him, and then I catch him. And in his own words, I shove Shrek on Xbox in his face like it's a Las Plagas parasite from Resident Evil 5. And then,
Play the game!
And then it cuts to Brandon slumped in a chair down here, and he picks up the Xbox controller, and he's like, I must play the game. And then I think it's just going to cut to a voiceover after that. But yeah, we videoed all that, so that's ready. And then the next day, we ended up going back in the city to do a couple more things with his family. We first went to a wax museum, which had all these wax figurines of celebrities. I got a whole bunch of photos taken there, though Brandon wasn't able to send me all of them just yet. Because I know there was more of them that were taken of me in there, but I didn't get all of them. Like, one I really wanted to get was, they had a figurine of Trump, complete with, like, the freaking front desk of the president. I had a photo, I actually sat in the chair right in front of Trump, and I wanted that. And the thing is, they actually had professional photos taken, and we actually got to see them on screen, but of course Brandon's parents weren't paying money for that. I tried to take a photo of the screen, just so that I could see what it looked like before I got the photo that his parents took. But of course, there was a freaking douchebag behind the registers that quickly shoved his hand in front of the photo, saying, "Oh, no photos."
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in a way, I guess that makes sense because
they want you to buy it, but then I'm like, nope, I'm not buying it. So
Yeah, it'd be fast. It'd be faster. Like, whoopsie.
I thought I was fast enough, but nope, he did it just in time.
well, I mean, if you had a camera that you could really zoom in good with, like a DSLR, you could have probably tried that from a distance.
That's.
Just make sure the person didn't see you.
I'm totally on my.
I'm pushing it anyway because I know Brandon's dad took a photo, but I didn't get the photo yet. I'm just hoping it doesn't get deleted.
Wow.
I'm totally on Facebook, but yeah, I'm not taking a picture at all. It's like, whoopsie, bye, run!
But there are a whole bunch of other photos. I'll say the only stupid thing about the place was that they had an entire floor dedicated to the 2016 Ghostbusters movie.
What? Why?
And all of us, even Brandon's parents, were like, why? No one liked this movie, right?
Well, it doesn't matter if people like the movie or not. It's outdated at this point. It's not like it's a fucking... it's not like it's made history or anything like the original Ghostbusters, so why dedicate it to a fucking...
The only thing people talk about it nowadays is the fact that it flopped, and it basically served as the first example of how SJW politics are going to cause. The funny thing is, diversity is a good thing, but I saw a Mysterious Mr. Enter video nowadays. A Mysterious Mr. Enter video that got uploaded today, and he noted how once in a classroom, students were asked to identify what diversity meant. Someone responded, "Oh, it means less white people," and they flunked.
Really? Wow.
Question. That's not what diversity means.
Damn.
Basically, if you're getting rid of white men, if you're getting rid of men and push women as the forefront of everything and saying, oh, women are in charge now, deal with it.
Yeah.
That is sexism just as much as men not segregating. Just as much as men not letting women vote. That is like women saying we're better than men and you're sexist if you disagree. That's just as sexist as men not giving women rights.
Also,
yeah,
I think it would be biologically incorrect as well.
Yeah, but it's like going back to what I think people mentioned this before, but like Martin Luther King said, he didn't say give people right because they're black, whatever. He says judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin or their gender.
Yeah, let's just say that radical, a lot of people of color that discriminate white people. Let's just say Martin Luther King Jr. would not be happy with them. He wanted to make peace between the races, not make the other races superior.
Like I said, the content of their character, not if they're nice people or whatever, and they're black, cool. If they're white and assholes or black and assholes, then they're jerks. Period.
Yep.
If they're female, they're jerks. They're assholes. Or they're female and awesome. Good for them.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So the point of that video I was watching, he mentions how the 2016 Ghostbusters flops. Like it pushed it. SJW ideologies. It flopped. Ocean's 8 tried to push SJW propaganda. It flopped. Battlefield 5 was pushing SJW propaganda. It's looking to flop. Very soon. Funny thing is, whitewashing is not a good thing for roles that are meant for people of different races. Absolutely not. But if SJWs keep trying to push their definition of diversity, very soon they will be labeled it will be the right kind of diversity will be labeled box office poison, and then the people that actually want the good version won't get it because the bad people tried to force their way.
I think we just found our quote for the next episode. I think we just found our quote for the next Let's Play quote.
Oh,
right there. Whoever makes it first, you or Mario. Alright, so is it time for, okay, you guys went to the Ghostbusters Museum, and you're like,
yeah,
this is
so we
stupid.
get off the Ghostbusters floor, and they had a section dedicated to Kong Skull Island, and while that movie was not bad, it's still a bit weird because it was a bit dated. And according to the employees at the end of the museum, it's updated every 4 months, so I don't understand why they were still there. But yeah, we get out of there and then we go to Ripley's Believe It or Not, which was very interesting. It was not the first time I was at a place like that because I went to another one in Orlando. So we did that, and then more or less after that, we were just kind of wandering the city until it was time for me to return to Grand Central. Though we did stop in Times Square, and numerous times, well, then again, these two areas were in Times Square. And let's just say that Brandon's dad had numerous run-ins with panhandlers. As soon as we got out of the Wax Museum, these people wearing Sesame Street and Mickey costumes immediately went up to Brandon's mom, and they posed for a photo, which Brandon's dad took. And, of course, right after the photo was taken, they immediately demanded money.
No, bye!
But according to Brandon's mom, his dad had a big rage moment. And
it'd be like, yeah, sorry, off topic again. Be like you're at Disney World and you take a picture of Mickey Mouse. Mickey's like, okay, that'd be $10, please. What? Like, I'm Mickey Mouse. It takes money For me, it costs you some money.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would have been funny if Brandon actually did turn around and put on his Mickey voice and ask the person, actually, that'll be $20.
Oh my god. I tell you now, another thing. I tell you now, we walked through Times Square and we kept stopping to look at this crowd that was surrounding something. I don't know what it was. But then, of course, freaking there was these two, like, most of these panhandlers were not white. The majority of them seemed to be Hispanic or black. And that's not to sound racist or anything, but that's just what it was. In fact, I hear that a lot of panhandlers that you see on the streets holding signs claiming they're homeless are supposedly Romanian gypsies. Like, they may look Hispanic, but they're actually Romanian.
Like from what was that movie? Hunchback of Notre Dame?
I don't know, but no, they're not. They don't put on shows or anything unless you count putting on a show, making it seem like you're homeless and starving when you're not.
We've been going for 1 hour and 30 minutes, surprisingly.
Okay. We might go over time if we can.
Yeah, I haven't got to my story yet.
So there was these two women. I think they were Hispanic or maybe they were Romanian gypsies, but they tattooed or painted their bodies with an American flag, and they were pretty much naked. I'm not making that up. They were wearing a thong that more or less fully exposed their asses, and they were topless.
Wow.
That normal for New York? Or?
Not for me. Like, seeing fucking exposed boobs in public was not pleasant.
Huh.
And yet Brandon's dad was making sarcastic jokes about it.
Don't tell your mom.
So we get held up by Brandon's mom, who's going to investigate the crowd surrounding the thing, and then Brandon's dad and Brandon himself and his brother go to find her. I kind of held back, and then as they're walking to leave that crowd, they're stopped by another panhandler. And this was a panhandler I only found out about a few months ago. It was this black guy who was more or less claiming to be an aspiring musician. He immediately handed a quote-unquote CD to Brandon's dad, and he claimed it was free, but that he would like a donation to try and help build his career. And Brandon's dad got as far as actually pulling out his wallet. I'm not sure if he actually gave the guy money, but I think he gave the CD back, even though the guy was probably being pushy about it.
Okay, here you go. Here's a penny. Good luck. Bye.
But the thing is, there were some cops standing nearby. And eventually, Brandon walked away. As I'm not sure if it got heated or not, but Brandon did talk with the cop, and I don't know what Brandon said, but the cop responded, "Yeah, I'm standing here. Yeah, this happens all the time. I stand here and say, don't do it, because it's like throwing money away." But yeah, like, Brandon's dad had numerous run-ins with panhandlers, and he got really pissed off after every encounter.
Huh.
Is it time for the goodbye now?
Yeah, the goodbye. We, after maybe about an hour later, we made it to Grand Central, I got my ticket home. They walked me to the platform where the train was leaving, and yeah, I shook Brandon's dad's hand, gave Brandon's mom and Brandon himself a hug. And I'll admit, like, I did actually get kind of upset afterwards.
I know you sent your Skype message. You were like upset.
Yeah. Because I don't know, like, never thought that a friend I made on the internet would actually go out of his way to come visit me in person with his whole family. And I guess I was also upset that I was worried it wasn't going to happen ever again.
Except you forgot about me.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really show any of that emotion in front of them, though. I remember my voice actually started cracking when I was walking away, and I turned back and I waved at them.
You know, it might be easier for you to visit. Speaking of visiting each other, it'd probably be easier for Snick to visit me than me to visit him.
I mean, according to my dad, my mom and dad told me as soon as I got back that next year I could probably go visit him.
Yeah, well, that's you and him. Oh, I want you and me visit.
I mean, yeah, like if it was a driving trip, I could probably stop by.
But just flying there, because it'd probably be easier for you to visit me because, you know.
Well, it's closer, yeah.
Also less awkward.
Really?
I don't know. It's so weird. I might do it. It'll feel weird for me going to your house.
Well, yeah, visiting you, I would probably, it would only be one way. I would probably just have to visit you at your house.
But
yeah, well, that was that, and probably next year I'll be flying out to Colorado. Hopefully Adam can do the same thing around the same time.
Well, I still want to do plans for something sooner though, because my plan is to try and get a job before the end of September.
Uh-huh.
My plan is to try and get a job before the end of September. That's my short-term goal. So then that dominoes affecting my graduation being in December rather than at the end of a school year. And that would also allow me to have an opening to visit pretty much you or whatever. I mean, if I could try, then maybe I could visit all three, but I don't know. I'd have to see how things turn out for myself.
I just want to try and arrange it to where all of us can meet at the same time.
But where would we even do that, though?
Maybe Colorado's the perfect place.
Well,
because with me it would be a bit more expensive.
I suppose, but I don't know. I mean, the thing with Colorado is that we'd basically have like an half and half. Can't talk. We'd have a half-half problem where half of us would basically be dying from asthma, and I'd probably be constantly under asthma because I wouldn't be used to what I had to limit myself to. I don't know. Maybe it's just me overthinking.
Why does asthma have to do with anything?
Well, Vandalia has asthma, and it seems like his is a lot more serious than mine was in Colorado, so it'd probably affect him more so than me. I mean, that's just what I'm thinking. I'm probably just overthinking things, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably gonna happen one day because I don't know. For me, a visit of some kind should be an annual thing. Because another reason why I got upset was because, like I mentioned this before the podcast, but aside from my own family, until I get a job, I have no one to talk to in person.
Nobody from college you talk to anymore?
No, I mean, if I were to talk to them, it'd most likely be via messaging. And because of that's why part of me really wishes middle school and elementary school schnick did not happen, because that resulted in me having few friends throughout my grade school career. And those few friends, well, 2 of them I rarely speak to because they live a whole state away and they're in the middle of college and whatnot. Another one of them, even though he's a neighbor, he's in college too, out of state. And one of them just stopped talking to me because I get the feeling he doesn't care.
Your target friend?
Yeah, that one. The one that I knew as a cousin at one point, basically.
The one that basically... Is that the one that you said just contacted you like a few days ago just to figure out how to do something online and said bye?
Yeah, after that encounter in Target, after several weeks of me trying to arrange a get-together with him not cooperating, I encounter him with Target, and then he shows absolutely no emotion to me when his family's trying to talk with me. And then I just kind of stopped talking to him after that, and then 7 months later, he just randomly out of the blue sends me a message asking me how to help him pre-order Black Ops 4.
Wow.
Be like, why?
Well, I don't have it in me to turn people down, so I helped him.
Oh, don't worry. Actually, it's probably a good thing, but for me, doing that eventually got old. I call it being walked all over. But anyways, I guess it's time for my story now.
20 minutes on the clock.
Yeah. Alright. So, we left my house about 2 o'clock, about 3 o'clock. Drove for 4 hours. Break time, halfway there. Got out. My legs hurt like crazy from sitting for 4 hours. And I stopped at my very first 7-Eleven.
What do you mean your very first 7-Eleven?
There's no 7-Elevens around my area.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I thought 7-Eleven was a nationwide thing.
It's not, because I don't have the closest 7-Eleven to me, I think, is in New Jersey.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna visit one of us, meaning me or Brandon, since there's 7-Elevens in Colorado, Denver, and... well, I don't know why I said Colorado, Denver, but Denver, Colorado, and Phoenix, Arizona, so... yeah. Take your poison.
I mean, I know for a fact that I personally want some kind of visit to occur once a year, because...
To a what once a year?
I want myself to be involved in some kind of a visit once a year.
I thought I heard you say a churro.
I didn't say.
Oh.
I didn't say that.
That's weird. Hold on.
I want at least some kind of visit to occur with me once a year. Because I don't know, like the fact that I wasn't able to make friends in college, and the fact that my old friends don't even want to talk to me anymore for the most part, or can't. I mean, I just owe a lot of stuff to all of you.
Well, Vandalia is having that shitty fucking internet again. Do 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 do.
Okay, well, I guess that's what we're gonna do. Just that. Oh.
Bye-bye.
Alright.
There,
Am I
he's
back
back, yes. But your camera's in on.
Yeah. Whatever.
So you're leaving it off then?
I don't know. It's freezing anyways. I'll be back to camera mode, I guess. Maybe back to my house. And not using my cell phone. I know how Stick does it with his cell phone. Anyways, alright, so as I was saying, got back on the road. I experienced my very first turnpike or pay toll road on the route on Route 9 or Route 90 or Interstate 90. We had to pay the ride. You had to pay the ride on the road.
That never makes any sense to me. Like, what's the point?
I'm not sure. Apparently, it pays for roads or something. I don't know. It's mostly in the East Coast, in the New York area. Except for one section of road for 2 miles, it wasn't paid for at all because apparently it's Indian controlled or Native American controlled. Apparently they're their own country.
Wait, Native American controlled? There's still Native American controlled areas? The fuck? I thought that wasn't even a thing, but I guess it is.
Apparently they pay for everything. It's apparently national laws don't apply on their land. And apparently gas and apparently from what I heard, gas is cheaper there. And so is cigarettes. I'm not planning to buy either one of those, but apparently it's cheaper. Anyways, we got to the area about 11 o'clock at night. Came in. I went straight to bed. I think I might have tried to call Stick around that time, but he was depressed then. He was depressed, so I couldn't talk to him really. When I got in, I wanted someone to talk to, but Stick couldn't. So next day, woke up, ate a quick breakfast, and then we went to something called the Strong Museum of Play. It was mainly for the little kids, but it was cool. It was pretty cool. They had like these little big invention things there. My favorite thing was this like giant ball slide. You pull a ball up and go down these tubes. And it was cool. And then I went upstairs and there was an arcade. With actual like a Frogger arcade machine, an actual Mario Brothers arcade, Super Mario Brothers arcade machine, Super Mario Brothers 3 arcade machine, and an actual Turtles 2 the arcade machine, Turtles 2 the arcade game.
Super Mario Brothers arcades? Like, what were they called?
Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Bros. 1, Super Mario Bros. 3.
Here's my
how did the arcade machine work?
You know, you played the game in the arcade.
Like, you put coins in it, or
yeah.
Did it give you time or credits?
Time.
Oh, time. Fuck, I don't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
What was the Mario 3
Play
one?
Choice. It was the Nintendo Play Choice arcade machine, wasn't it?
Well, that for Mario 3 it was, yeah, but Mario 1 was actual arcade.
Oh, well, well, Mario 1 might have been versus Super Mario Brothers, which is basically Super Mario Brothers 1, except there's some differences, apart from graphical differences, that is.
Yeah. Like I said, there's also the Turtles arcade game, indie arcade, like the actual arcade game I used to play as a kid before they ported it to Super Nintendo, or the regular Nintendo, and they call it the arcade game because it was the arcade game.
Wow.
That was fun. And anyways, then we ate some food. I had let's see what else we did that day. Let's see, had museum, rode a train around a circle for four times, a big lap with my niece. I pretended we ran over rabbits. And went moo. Let's see. What else we do? God, what else we do that day? That's my memory already. It's only been a few days.
Wow. Should have kept the diary or something, huh?
I took pictures, but Friday to museum. Like house for a while. Yes. Yeah, that was Saturday. That was Saturday. It was Friday. Friday. That was Friday. It was Sunday. Okay. Okay, I thought we did the rest of the day. Rest of the day Friday for some reason. But Saturday, we went to the market, like a big farmers market thing. I ate my first empanada. Basically, some kind of thing with around dough and you fry it. It's a Spanish thing. Ate that. And I saw my first musical panhandler. This guy playing guitar from his case, and people throw money in the case.
Well, it's not really panhandling,
though. Great streak, though.
It's not really panhandling if you're not begging people for money.
I don't want to call it them. It's like tips. Like maybe he's getting tips for playing. I guess I don't know.
He's more of a street performer. Let me rephrase that. He is a street performer.
Then after that we went to the Seneca Zoo. Of course, half the exhibits were closed, unfortunately, because they're remodeling. Because apparently, like PETA, some people were trying to make the zoo more animal friendly. So half the animals were relocated for the time being, and part of it was under construction. So we only saw a few animals. I took some pictures of it, put it on my Facebook. So we saw elephants. We saw lions. Apparently, the lion cage, they have like a plastic zebra laid over, and they put meat in the plastic zebra the lions can eat out of.
Wow.
And we saw boa constrictors. We saw like a mini game about fish and other things. And we went back to the house for a while, and then I went swimming for the first time in forever. It was hard work. I helped my niece get to deep. My niece handcuffed me to her floaty, like she put her floaty on. She put one of the arm things through my wrist, so I could carry her to the deep end.
Wow.
Safely. Then we went back, and then we got back. I went to my first AMC theater. Apparently, it's
your first AMC. Do you not have AMC theaters in Ohio either?
Oh, there's like two of them. There's two in Ohio.
What?
They're like fucking like a 2-hour ride from where I live.
Fucking
either way.
Wow.
I have an AMC theater near me, but it is about a 10-minute drive away. So why go there when I could just go to my local theaters?
Fucking Ohio doesn't even have two of the biggest things that I could think of for just general stuff to do. No AMC theaters practically, and no fucking 7-Elevens. God damn.
But
Yeah.
So Vandia, you almost done with yours? Because I could actually show the video of Brandon chasing my dog.
Almost. Alright. Then we saw Christopher Robin. It's in my opinion, this is my opinion, is the best of the Disney remakes I've seen so far.
Oh.
It's not really a remake, it's more so telling an original story.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true. I guess that's true. I thought it was going to be like a sequel to the original Winnie the Pooh, but yeah, of all the movies I've seen that, based on an original cartoon movie, this is like the cutest and best I've seen. better than Maleficent, better than Beauty and the Beast.
Fucking Beauty and the Beast did not. It was more or less a shot-for-shot remake of the original animated movie. So honestly, and I'd rather watch the animated movie than the live-action one.
Yeah, there are some cute scenes in it. I might do a review of it.
Like,
after everyone's seen it.
There's only two. There were so few changes from the original. There were only two that I noticed and kind of liked in making the story a bit more mature. One, the fact that there was a freaking plague doctor that appeared in a freaking flashback, and two, the fact that Gaston used a flintlock pistol in his fight with the Beast. Maybe it's because when I was playing Bloodborne, I became a bit of a sucker for Victorian era stuff.
Nice. On the way back, apparently my niece got addicted to the Tigger song, so she was singing it the whole time back.
Oh God.
And then I found a YouTube video about the Tigger song. Apparently, it was longer than we all realized. It was like 2 minutes longer than that. The whole song was like 2 minutes longer than that. That's like so many verses I didn't know about. So we got back. Okay, then today we woke up for a ride. We had some Greek food, like a pita kebab and stuff. Then we walked down the Erie Canal. Then I had something called a garbage plate.
What?
Was it from King Garbage of the Garbage Dynasty?
I'm not sure.
What the fuck is a garbage plate?
Basically, I guess they threw like hamburger meat, fries, and macaroni all on one big plate instead of separating them. They threw them all together in a box.
I thought you were gonna say something like, "Oh, well, a garbage plate is an edible plate," or some shit like that. And I was just been like, "What?"
No, I guess they basically throw everything together instead of separating them. They throw everything together: the meat, the fries, everything. This big pile, like a pile of garbage. Apparently, it's I don't know if it's a New York thing. Apparently, I guess it's a upper New York State thing. I don't know. There, had that. Then we went out back, roasted marshmallows, made some s'mores.
Or as Buzz Lightyear says, delicious hot schmoes.
We only did it for like 20 minutes or maybe 30 minutes at the most because then come the mosquitoes and luckily I had pants on, so like I had some pants on, so like legs didn't get bitten. Even though I had lotion on my arms, I've got my neck, so I got bitten on my neck a lot. Like
you didn't put it on your neck?
I forgot all about my neck.
Wow.
My niece put it on my face for me. It's like off my arm. I can't rub it all the way. Then she was on my face. My 5-year-old niece like do.
That's funny. The fucking blood-sucking motherfuckers get your neck, the only exposed part.
Yeah.
Are you gonna become the mosquito man now?
Probably. I made a joke that you joke to them that you guys get a pet brown bat because they eat mosquitoes, like 600 mosquitoes an hour. And he's like, oh, there's bats up there. We have bats. They'll be up there soon. You can see them. So, came back in. I watched TV for a while. I came back down here and I called Adam. And I can't remember what I did Friday.
Today?
Yeah. I can't remember. Yeah. Well, I guess you can play your videos while I'm trying to remember what I did Friday after the museum.
All right. Yeah. So here is a photo of Brandon with the dog.
I'm gonna make sure this show's on OBS. Okay, yeah, it is.
see it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Cute.
I love how the dog
Notice-
is looking right at the camera, too.
Yeah, notice how long his tongue is.
Yeah, his long tongue allows him to get long lick streaks on people's faces.
Yeah, like yeah, I will say he has one of the longest tongues I've seen on a dog.
We should have Jesse make that the thumbnail of the episode.
Just
Yeah,
that
I
picture?
could probably send him the actual photo I took. And then here's the video of him chasing him in redneck mode.
Oh god, here we go.
Turn up the volume.
Total redneck mode. Oh, see, he's trapped, right? Come on.
And then it kind of abruptly ends because I ran out of space. But basically, I chased the dog up there. I thought I had him cornered, but no, he just darted underneath both legs, and then Brandon almost caught him, but he darted out of the way.
Wow, freaking... You think that you'd have a higher chance of catching a dog when you have two people, but no, somehow that doesn't end up happening.
Oh, obviously, I wasn't really helping because I was videoing Brandon chasing.
Not helpful at all.
Oh, I remember now. All we did really at the museum, we went back to the house, hung out for a while, and ate home-cooked Chinese food.
I only got one more video of Brandon with the dog, which was... I kind of wish I got videos of him playing fetch with him. But I did get a video of him holding him as he was starting to fall asleep.
Wait, so Brandon was starting to fall asleep and he was holding the baby?
No, the dog was starting to fall asleep and he was holding him.
Oh. So was that it?
Yeah, that was about it with that. I mean, well, the other videos and photos I may have gotten with him and the dog haven't uploaded to Google yet.
Alright, we can go to the next visit. Alright. Do you have any, before we go, do you have any daily field trip onions to tell?
You mean visit, like, trip onions?
Yeah.
Let's see, trip onions, peas, let's see. So,
Yeah,
let's just say I was a fucking selfish little shit when I went on trips as elementary school schnick.
God damn it.
Like, every visit to Disney and, Universal's a whole different story. So fucking every visit we went to go to Disney, I would not even just Disney, also other parks like Six Flags and Playland. Fucking, I would always run ahead to get in line first, and everyone would just walk, and they would tell me to wait for them, and of course I didn't want to wait.
Like, we can't cut in line to come back here. No, you come up here. Like, we can't cut in line, but I saved our place in line.
And not to fucking mention, if my gram was with us and she was walking, fucking my gram had a fucking heart condition, yet elementary school schnick didn't care.
Wow.
Then again, in later years, when my gram came, oh shit. My file finished, now to do another file.
Did that sound freak you out?
In my Gram's later years, she used a motorized scooter to get around. Which was only an advantage for us at Disney because that meant we got to skip the line on some rides. Like, namely, It's a Small World and Pirates.
I think the longest line when the last round of Disney, I think the longest line, the least payoff, was probably Peter Pan.
Oh yeah, Peter Pan. The last time I went on Peter Pan, it was when they were doing the fireworks show, and during that fireworks show, the line for Peter Pan was next to non-existent. But the last time I was fully at Disney was right after New Year's, which is around the time the park capacity is at its peak. And let's just say not even the fireworks helped with the line time.
So what happened to Uncle Snick? What did you do?
I remember one year, I think it was second grade, I was throwing huge tantrums about me wanting to stay inside. I brought my friggin' SpongeBob plug-and-play game with me. All I wanted to do was just stay inside and play it.
God damn. That's pretty fucking sad, I'm not gonna lie.
So fucking... Not to mention, my fear of thunderstorms that I had up until about 6th grade started to manifest around this time.
It was thundering outside.
Well, thunderstorms were in the forecast, and there were dark clouds all over. Not to mention, the fear of thunderstorms around this time was mostly out of fear that a twister would form out of one. Like, it was a weird period where I thought anytime dark clouds appeared in the sky, I was worried a twister was going to form, even though they're a bit more common down in Florida, but fucking
really?
At home, huh?
I wouldn't think a tornado would be around the Florida area.
I remember there was a book I had to read in 3rd grade that claims that it was unofficially a part of the alley, when in fact Florida doesn't really get them all that much. I mean, they can happen. Even strong ones have happened before, but from what I understand, most of the ones that happen are from hurricanes.
Yeah, I figured Florida had more because of hurricanes than they would tornadoes.
Yeah, Florida is more concerned about hurricanes, definitely.
I live pretty much in Tornado Alley. At least a tornado has hit my area like at least 10 times in the last 20, 30 years.
And yet, I can't recall if one's ever hit my area. I tell you this much, on the Wikipedia page, my town is not listed in the ones that have hit my state.
Mine might have been, at least once.
Yeah, well, I've had numerous close calls in the past, but it's typically once every couple of years on average.
Alright, so you're playing SpongeBob, or at least you want to. Like, screw Disney World. Play SpongeBob.
This was the day when we were at the pool. And let's just say I wanted to go inside when I noticed dark clouds starting to roll in. My mom, so I started asking the question, how long are we staying here?
Okay.
My mom and dad kept dodging the question because they were busy talking to people, whereas Uncle Wally just angrily answered, "We're staying here all day."
What was your sister doing?
Swimming.
Ah.
She was a goddamn fish. She would swim all the goddamn time.
Fish.
That was the nickname my dad would say.
Dancing fish.
The dancing, soccer, basketball, track, lacrosse. I don't know about lacrosse, but
She played all the sports. Pretty much, she was everywhere.
Yeah, but now she only does soccer.
Man, I swear, if she stayed in that pool long enough, she could probably start waterbending, so she could yell, "Dance, water, dance!" sorry. I'm sorry, that was so bad.
Yeah, what happened was... Oh, and here's a particularly retarded thing I did. Anytime I try to get my dad's attention especially, I would ask, how long are we staying here? Give me 1 second. 1, 0.
1-0.
Okay.
Oh my
Get
god.
up, get a watch.
I did it as a joke. I did that kind of shit as a joke. Like, give me a second. 1. Okay, it's been a second. No, you fucking did it for real. God damn.
For real.
God damn.
He said, give me a minute. Okay, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. So, you like, are we leaving yet? Are we leaving yet? Are we leaving yet? Are we leaving yet?
Are we there yet? Are we leaving yet? Are we there yet? Are we leaving yet?
Yeah, I more or less did that with them. Eventually, after at least a couple of hours of torture, my gram finally took me back into the hotel room, but she didn't let me play the SpongeBob game.
You? Ah!
So what did you do in that room? Nothing? Sleeping?
I probably should put on Nickelodeon.
Why didn't she allow you to...
My gram may have made me read.
Why didn't she allow you to play SpongeBob shit?
Because that's why I wanted to go in and they knew it.
Oh my god.
So you're not really a fan of the then you're not really a fan of the outdoor stuff?
Well, that was around the time I was starting to get sick of swimming in a pool. Because I was doing it so much every summer that I just got tired of it.
Yeah.
I guess Schnick isn't gonna be too happy when he comes to visit me in my state.
I mean, it's been such a long time since I've swam that, well, I do it so rarely nowadays, I wouldn't mind doing it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I swam the last year when I swam at that Disney park with Mickey P in the pool. It was the first time I went swimming in like almost like 20 years. I maybe once, a few times at church camp I swam, but other than that, I never swam that much. But I made it across the pool today in like 2 minutes, back and forth for 2 minutes, without stopping. It's a record for me. It was very exhausting though, but I made it. So is that your onion for today?
No, I got more onion. Oh no. Oh,
How many more are we doing?
I don't know. I mean, I can just go over the elementary school Schnick stories I have in mind right now. I don't really know if I have too many middle school Schnick stories involving trips, but...
If you're gonna go for a long amount of time, then I might as well just go make my shake now, because I thought we would be done, but I guess not.
What do you mean, make your shake?
Yeah, I was planning on making a shake after the podcast, but if we're gonna go for a long while, then...
And you're not gonna be here to listen to this bullshit, but MarioTube's reactions are the best.
I'm gonna make a fucking shake, mate.
I guess we can tell the onion story a little bit later, because I gotta go to sleep too. I gotta wake up in 7 hours and pack, get ready for an 8-hour trip.
Damn.
Well, I'll just finish up what I have from this particular trip.
Okay.
It's not too much. So, of course, visiting the Disney parks brought the typical results, but then we get to fucking Universal.
Universal? Oh.
When we went to Universal, everyone kept telling me how great it was to get outside and do things, which was true. So, I fucking started imitating SpongeBob BC.
God damn it.
I fucking started You know how in the Patchy segments, like freaking Patchy and Potty the Parrot are trying to debate what's better? Like prehistory or the future?
Yeah.
I started imitating that.
Oh my god. Why? No. Stop.
Fucking, I made it that instead of prehistory, you had the outside world, and instead of the future, you had indoors.
Are you fucking... Wait. Wait, what? Are you fucking serious?
Future!
MarioTube, were you gonna say something?
I fucking physically said it, man.
What'd you do? What'd you do?
That. You don't hear it?
You broke something?
I'm taking my hand and fucking hitting my forehead. With my palm, specifically. This is fucking stupid! It's actually starting to hurt.
Anytime we went on a ride, or anytime something happened that I didn't like, I would give indoors a point, but if we actually went on a good ride, fucking outside world would get a point.
What? That's not fair! The fuck?
Okay, outside. You won this round. But I'm keeping track.
Oh, hey, look! An indoors attraction.
I tell you, though, by the time we finally stopped by this Irish restaurant and bar, like, I think I was still keeping track all the way up to that point, even though it was, like, almost the end of the day. And freaking... I think I just lopsided towards indoors.
What do you mean? Like, you purposely lopsided it? Even though it didn't have that many points, or what?
Like, I'm fairly certain that I just automatically said indoors wins.
No matter how many points?
Like, I think the indoors points were higher than the outside world points, but I think in my freaking little shell, I was like fucking saying, oh, these outside points don't count. They're all indoors.
They don't count?
Roller coaster, indoors. I think that counts for that roller coaster was fun.
The very first point was given to indoors. After I didn't like the first ride I went on, the Hulk coaster.
Are you fucking serious?
I am serious.
That's not fair. Literally not fair.
Alright.
Elementary school schnick.
Okay, so Mario, what have we learned today?
We've learned that apparently visiting people that you met over the internet can be emotional. We've learned that setting up trips is hard, I guess.
No, it's not. If anything, I would say if it became a regular occurrence, it would become less and less emotional because, you know, it's not so much a goodbye, but more so a so long because we'll be seeing each other again probably next year.
Awesome.
And, Ohio doesn't have a lot of fucking things that I think they have, even though he only said like 2 things that he didn't have. And you'll find the damnedest of things when going on trips, such as a Play Choice 10 machine and a Frogger. And
there was that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will join us Tuesday as we continue this tour because I have a lot more trip stories to tell. I'm sure Snick does too. And maybe we can hear maybe Brandon can make an appearance, tell his side of the story. Because this trip experience has far from ended.
Yeah.
We'll see you then. Never stop learning and enjoy the randomness. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.